Chase just made the biggest change to the Sapphire Preferred card in 5 years. It added in new spending categories, a $100 hotel credit, a global entry credit, and a 100,000 point welcome offer that matches the highest offer this card has ever had. But there's one change buried inside this update that could cost you thousands of points, depending on how you've been using them. I'm going to walk you through everything, tell you exactly what it means, and give you my take on what the right move is right now for this card. So here's the fast version before we go deep. Almost everything Chase did here is positive. The $95 annual fee didn't move at all. They added 3x on gas, EV charging, and vacation rentals. The hotel credit doubled from 50 to 100. They added a global entry credit. Emergency evacuation cover is also now included. And the cherry on top, or should I say Apple, is that they gave us a Apple TV subscription for a year. Now, the negatives, one is small, barely worth your time, and the other one is definitely worth your time, and it involves Hyatt. But first, let's start with the wins. The new earning category for the Chase Sapphire Preferred is huge in my opinion, and keeping all the other categories is a huge win. So now the Chase Sapphire Preferred categories look like this. We got 5x on Chase Travel, 3x on dining, streaming, and online groceries, 2x on all other travel, and now the brand new 3x on gas and EV charging, and 3x on vacation homes, Airbnb, Vrbo, Plum Guide, and more. Gas earnings at 3x points is something people have been asking Chase for years, and what I'm most excited about. If you're spending $300 a month at the pump, that's 10,800 extra points from the year from this single category. And the vacation home 3x is very well timed. Airbnb and Vrbo have taken a massive share of the travel market, and earning only 2x on those bookings before never reflected how people were actually spending. So kudos to Chase for making these updates. One thing I do want to mention, the more multipliers a card has, the harder it can be for someone just getting started to keep track of everything. The Sapphire Preferred has always been a strong first or second travel card for beginners. So Chase may have made it a little bit more complex than it needs to be for the audience, but if you're watching my channel, you'll figure out the categories fast, and the more spend coverage, more points earned. That's the way you want to look at it, so it's a net win. Now let's talk about the credits, because this is where the value proposition on this card actually shifted. The hotel credit just went from $50 to $100 per year. That's for the Chase Travel, and you don't have to worry about 2-night minimums, and you can use that full $100 on a single booking, which is kind of rare because most cards break it into semi-annually. The one credit alone basically wipes out that $95 annual fee. They also added a $120 global entry TSA PreCheck or Nexus credit valid every 4 years. Amortized out, that's about $30 per year in value, and this perk that used to live exclusive on premium travel cards, seeing it on a $95 card is genuinely significant, especially if you don't have global entry yet and you've been putting it off. And then there's the free Apple TV subscription that I mentioned that lasts for a year. Activate it through your Chase account by December 31st, 2026, and it's yours. That's a $156 value if you're currently paying for it. There's one more addition worth mentioning. Emergency evacuation and transportation coverage is now part of the card's protection suite. This covers you if you're more than 100 miles away from home and need to be evacuated for a medical emergency. Coverage that can run into the tens of thousands of dollars in the worst case scenario. That protection used to require the Sapphire Reserve to access. Now it's on the $95 card. If everything I covered so far has you interested, there's also a limited time welcome bonus on the card right now, and it's up to 100,000 points. This is the highest offer the Sapphire Preferred has ever had. I've put the link in the description, but before you do, stay with me because there's 2 things you need to know about this update first. Okay, so the small negative, guys, that 10% anniversary bonus is being discontinued for new cardholders. This was the feature where Chase gave you bonus points equal to 10% of your purchases from the prior year. Here's why I'm not losing sleep over it. If you put $30,000 to spend on this card each year, that 10% bonus gave you 3,000 extra points. Value those points at 1 cent each, and that's only $30. On $30,000 to spend, that's 0.1% return. For most people, this was a benefit they've already forgotten they actually had. Now, if you're an existing cardholder, you continue earning the bonus on purchases through October 1st, 2026, but for new applicants, it's gone immediately. Now, let's cover the one big negative that everybody has been talking about. Chase is changing the transfer ratio from Ultimate Rewards to the world of Hyatt. It's going from a 1-to-1 down to a 4-to-3 on both the Sapphire Preferred and the Ink Business Preferred. So here's what it means in real terms. You have 40,000 Chase points. Under the old ratio, you transfer them to Hyatt and you get 40,000 Hyatt points. Under the new ratio, you transfer 40,000 Chase points and you get 30,000 Hyatt points. That's a 25% haircut on every single transfer. And here's why it hits harder than a standard devaluation. Hyatt itself just went through its own reward chart overhaul. Costs went up on a lot of these properties. So you're getting fewer points at the exact same time. Those points are also able to buy less. That's a double hit. Now, if you are an existing Sapphire Preferred cardholder, there is a grace period. This new 4-to-3 rate doesn't kick in for you until October 1st, 2026. So if you've been sitting on Chase points that you were planning to transfer to Hyatt, you have until October 1st to do it at the old 1-to-1 rate. That window really matters, so go ahead and do it if that's what you plan on doing. For anyone who applied on or after June 15, that new rate is already in effect, so there will be no grace period. The reason Chase probably made this move is pretty logical from their side. Hyatt points are expensive for them to acquire, and the Sapphire Preferred became extremely popular specifically because of the Hyatt transfer access. Making 1-to-1 Hyatt transfers exclusive to the Sapphire Reserve card now gives people a reason to upgrade. Whether or not you agree with it, that's really the Chase play. So what's your actual best move right now? And I think this comes down to 3 types of people. All right, so let's cover option 1. This is for everybody out there that their whole point system is revolving around the Hyatt transfer. Now, if this was you before and you specifically had this Sapphire Preferred for that, the new card for you to look at is the Sapphire Reserve because it still maintains the 1-to-1 ratio. Yes, I know the annual fee is $795, but the Reserve does have credits built in that can meaningfully offset that fee. And plus, you do get lounge access on top of it. If Hyatt is your primary redemption, the Chase Sapphire Preferred makes less sense to own than ever. It's likely time for you to upgrade to that Reserve. Now, option 2, guys, if you're new to travel cards and you're looking at the Chase Sapphire Preferred as a starting point, honestly, this card makes more sense than it did a month ago, for most people at least. The hotel credit alone covers the fee. You get the global entry credit on a $95 credit card now, and your points still transfer to United, Southwest, Singapore, Marriott, and others. The Hyatt change hurts, but it doesn't break the card completely. This is still one of the cleanest entry-level credit cards available. And the last one is option 3. This is for the people that already have a solid setup and you're figuring out where this fits. Look at the new categories, the gas, the vacation rentals. If you've got dining and groceries covered by another card, the Chase Sapphire Preferred could fill a real gap in your setup. 5x on Chase Travel, plus that $100 hotel credit, and the global entry, plus now the new categories, this low-fee card adds clean value without much complexity. Now guys, before I do wrap up, I want to say something that is extremely important and everybody should know this. If you are carrying a balance on this card, you're paying interest, none of this math works. Those points do not make up for what you're going to be paying in interest. So make sure you're paying your card off in full every single month because that's the only way it's worth it. So here's the bottom line. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is a better card in my personal opinion after the update for most people. The Hyatt devaluation is real, and if that's your primary redemption strategy, this does sting. But the credits, the new categories, and the added protections make a legitimately strong case at $95. Now, if you want to see how this card actually stacks up to the Amex Gold card, because the gap between those two just got a lot more interesting, that's going to be my next video. So drop a comment and let me know where you land on this one. See you in the next one.